Thanks, Alana. A simple DNA test leads to a shocking discovery for one Utah family, learning their son is not related to the father. This after an IVF mix-up more than a decade ago.
In an exclusive interview, both families speaking out in hopes that those going through in vitro fertilization do not experience the same thing.
ABC4's Jillian Smuckler joining us live in studio to explain how this all happened. Jillian.
Glenn, the Johnson family thought it would be entertaining to do the 23andMe DNA testing kits, which have become increasingly popular over the years. But when they got the results back a month later, what was supposed to be a fun family activity turned into a devastating revelation.
When I looked on that page and I saw mom for him, and then I saw father unknown, and I thought, what do you mean father unknown? I'm his father.
Vanner and Donna Johnson started their IVF journey in 2007 after they were unable to have a second child on their own.
Well, you understand that there's that possibility, but it's so remote that the likelihood of it being us seemed as remote or more.
But over a decade after they gave birth to a baby boy, their worst nightmare quickly became a reality.
When my results showed up showing two sons immediately, and seeing our oldest was a half-sibling to his younger brother through me, we knew there must have been something wrong.
A simple DNA test reveals Vanner Johnson is not his son's biological father, and that Donna's egg was fertilized by someone else's sperm in the process.
There were a lot of emotions we had to work through, including separating the love of our son, which has not changed, to the issue that we were dealing with, this mistake that happened.
The Johnsons waited over a year to break the news to their son.
I took him on a drive in our car, and as we're going for ice cream, actually.
The boy knew he was the result of an IVF pregnancy.
I said, well, as it turns out, when we had that done, something happened, and we're not sure what happened, but I'm actually not your biological father.
While Vanner doesn't remember much of that conversation,
I remember the way that I felt and that he felt, and that he told me he loved me still.
As the family grapples with the shocking news,
I went through 18 months not knowing who the biological father of my son was, not having a clue, walking down the street and thinking, is it him? Could it be this person?
they decided to take another DNA test, this time through Ancestry, to find out who his father really is. That's where DEVIN MCNEIL comes in.
I found his phone number. First one that we found, we were sure we had it, and I cold called him.
After ignoring what he thought were 2 spam calls, he finally picked up.
If I understand, you're DEVIN MCNEIL, yes, and your wife's Kelly, and both of you had done in vitro a number of years ago at the University of Utah. And he said yes, and I said, well, I think that I've got something that I'd really like to talk to you about.
Obviously, we were very incredulous at first, but the more details that came out, the more evident it was that there was something that had happened that involved us.
Eager to get some answers, the 2 families began piecing it all together until it added up.
There was one date that we were in the clinic at the same time. I was doing transfer, so that's when they put the embryos back inside. And she was doing retrieval, where they take her eggs and retrieve them. And it was that same day, we think around the same time, 14 years ago.
Little did they know that that day would change their lives in more ways than one.
There's really no manual for what we're trying to do, and the process is ongoing. When you ask for advice, there's not really advice that can be given. And so what do you do?
They're supporting one another as they figure out what's next.
And however comfortable they are, the McNeils are with what he would like, and our son would like, that's what we'd like to do.
In the meantime, the families aren't letting distance separate them any longer.
Just to accept they have a half brother out there, and just someone else to love, and to see them at the park together playing, and to turn this hard situation into something that should never have happened into something good.
While the 4 of them try to process this turn of events,
with this being something that affects all of our lives, he didn't sign away his parental rights, and we didn't consent to this, and we're just expected to work it out.
They believe no one else should have to go through what they are.
We're decades into this. We shouldn't be looking back trying to fix problems. We should have there should be things in place to prevent these problems and issues.
And until changes are made,
We encourage people to do a DNA test if you've done IVF, because this is not something that I would have ever have guessed would be part of our story.
Just an incredible story there, and it is important to note both the McNeils and Johnsons are preparing to file 2 separate lawsuits against the University of Utah Center for Reproductive Medicine. And I did reach out to them for comment, but was told they can't speak on patient cases without consent or ongoing litigation. But it did say it will make changes to prevent harm from happening to other patients if necessary. Emily?
All right, Jillian, thank you.